Hello, Sierra Vista and surrounding community. This is Melanie Edwards-Barton, CEO at the Sierra Vista Area Chamber of Commerce, and I am joined today by Eric Grisham. He is the Business Service Representative at Arizona at Work, and I welcome Eric.
Well, thank you, Melanie. Glad to be here.
Wonderful to have you here. I know that we have in our community, we have a lot of businesses that are hiring. We have a lot of people that are looking for jobs as well. And so I understand Arizona at Work is the best place that businesses who are hiring and individuals who are looking can go to make that connection.
Oh, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about Arizona at Work, how you're funded, what you do.
Okay. So Arizona at Work, we are a local workforce organization here in southeastern Arizona. We cover Cochise, Graham, and Greenlee counties. We are funded through the Workforce Innovative and Opportunity Act, so technically we're federally funded. We help job seekers find jobs, and we help businesses find those job seekers. We have money also for dislocated workers and training for folks that are looking for a promotion maybe, or trying to make sure they don't get fired or laid off because of changes in the requirements. We are eager to spend money on folks to get the trainings and stuff, and we're eager to help people find these jobs.
That is fabulous. I think a lot of times we think, oh, maybe we're not fully qualified for a particular job, and there may be some classes or a certificate, something like that, that they may need to have in order to, sorry, it's on the sides. It's not going to stay very well, but in order to become completely qualified for a particular position. And so let's talk about maybe some of the classes that you offer or certificate training programs. What do you have there to help support these individuals?
Okay, well, I mean, as far as the training goes, we do have some resume writing classes. We have interview classes for those that are not very comfortable with the interview side of the house, a little shy, a little nervous. We have some introduction to computer classes. We have introduction to job search classes, teaching people how to use the computers as well as how to do the job searches on the computer, since everything now is technical.
Wonderful. And so how much does that cost an individual when they come in?
Oh, it costs nothing.
Costs nothing for
all of our services are funded through the WIOA, and it's free of charge for businesses looking for workers and workers looking for training certifications. Now, for certifications, we don't directly teach the classes. We offer funding. So if someone wants to go through the U of A here in Sierra Vista, I keep forgetting what the name of it is now. However, so Melissa, don't hate me for this. But anyway, so through them or through New Horizons, which is a technical learning center, we have what's called workforce grants, which we can pay for them to get their certifications through these other organizations.
Wow, that's fabulous. So I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know about that, and so they think they've got to go to school, they've got to spend a lot of money, but it looks like this is a nice transitional program to help them get from one level to the next, or just to help them get into that job that they want to be in.
Exactly.
That is, so basically a citizen of the United States, I mean, what are the requirements for a person?
Well, it varies on the requirements. We invite everyone to come Monday through Friday. We have an orientation at 9 o'clock. And our instructor will sit down with everyone and explain what our programs are, who qualifies. Some of our programs are based on an individual's finances, how much money they make. However, some of them are based off of being what's called a dislocated worker. You've been laid off, you've been furloughed. As a military spouse, you've been PCS from another location and you left a job. So now we have funding under the WIOA to help those individuals find a new or a better job than what they left. Sometimes people come to southern Arizona in the rural world and they don't have some of those great and wonderful jobs they had in the bigger cities or whatnot. So we have funding that can help, and it's not based on finances. So, there's different requirements out there, but for the most part, you come into the orientation, fill out a step 1 packet, learn about us, and say, hey, I want to excel. I want to do better. I want to get promoted,
So let's talk about that orientation for just a minute.
Okay.
So are they actually coming to a location, or is this something they can log on to online?
Right now, we do have our location open. We practice our social distancing, so we try to spread everybody inside the room. However, our instructor does have Zoom capabilities, so if someone is more at risk for being out amongst everyone else during this COVID pandemic, you can set up something with our instructor. He can do a one-on-one Zoom, or for a small group, he can set up a Zoom meeting as well.
Wonderful. So if they're going to actually show up, do they need to call ahead of time?
No, we just ask that they get there 10 to 15 minutes early, sign in at the front desk, let them know they're there for the orientation. We sign them in, make sure you bring your mask, and then our instructor will come out and take them back to the classroom and prepare and provide information.
So where is Arizona at Work?
Okay, Arizona at Work, we're located at the old hospital for all those that have been in Sierra Vista forever. Also, now it's the Cochise College Downtown Center, but it's 2600 East Wilcox Drive in Sierra Vista.
Wonderful, thank you. Appreciate that. So let's talk a little bit more in detail then. I understand that you put these questions out to the public out there about what were they interested in. So we had a couple of questions here in regards to who hires specific people. So who hires 16 and 17-year-olds?
Well, that is a challenge in this town, I'll be honest. However, there are locations, mostly fast food locations, and I know a lot of the young folks nowadays do not want to work fast food. But because of child labor laws and, most important, insurance, a lot of businesses, they have to pay 2 to 3 times more for insurance to cover the safety of a 16 and 17-year-old than they do an 18-year-old hire. So a lot of times it depends on what the job is. Now, there's a few out there outside of the fast food restaurants that will hire. It's a case-by-case basis if they meet the requirements. There's a couple of senior living facilities around here that will hire. A couple of the hotels, the Windermere prime example, they hire 16 and 17-year-olds for their banquet staff, for events, to wait tables, set up, tear down, stuff like that. So it is very tough, but it is possible. And we'll probably discuss a little bit more, but when it comes down to it, it's about who you know. It is all about who you know.
I'm told it's not about who you know, but who knows you.
Well, this is true. This is true. I went through some interesting training a couple of weeks back talking about a thing called the hidden job market.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Okay, so the hidden job market, and when I was transitioning out of the military, they talked about 85% of jobs are never posted. So in this training, and I even went back and did the research in Forbes magazine, it says 80 to 85% of all jobs are never posted. It's called the hidden job market. So, my question when I read it was, so how do you figure it out? How do you do it? And it ultimately comes down to who you know, but like you said, most of all, who knows you? Mm-hmm. And it talks about getting your name out there, meeting the people that make decisions. Not just somebody that might work there. Yeah, your buddy can get you into McDonald's or Burger King or Sonic possibly. But if you want to move up into those big jobs, you need to know somebody in there. A lot of the big corporations out there, they don't post on all these other websites because they post memos within the office area saying, oh, our recruiters will pay you $1,000 to $5,000 for referring someone successfully to us. Because the way they look at it, and forgive my French, computer nerds know computer nerds. IT specialists know the IT specialists. Cooks know cooks. And so forth and so on. So if you're successful in a big organization, they're looking at you saying, oh, I bet you've got some good friends and family with the same work ethic and the same motivation and the same skills. Let them know we're looking for people.
Yep. It's a wonderful way to recruit.
It is. And even in small rural Arizona, it's still possible. I've met so many people that it's all about, oh, I got a job at Taco Bell because my friend's mother's aunts, uncles, and brother all works there. So they put in a good word and boom, somebody gets hired.
So the trick is to get into that hidden job market, basically. Get your name out there, your face out there, network, get to know people. so that they know you.
Exactly.
And that way you can kind of infiltrate that hidden market, correct?
It is. And you know, and I'll make a little pitch for the chamber right now. I mean, granted, during COVID time, it's a little crazy, but all the little social things y'all did, like network at noon, business at twilight, those are prime examples of people getting in to meet other people. You know, and eventually even the small mom and pops are going to be looking to hire somebody.
Absolutely.
So if you make yourself known and you help out and get involved, you're going to build a reputation for yourself.
Agreed, absolutely. And right now, you know, it's interesting to say that, but it doesn't mean that you have to leave your house at this point either, because so many different events and everything are virtual, they're online.
Exactly.
So it's, you know, you can still become a part of the chamber or another group, networking group, and get out there and network, but not leave the house either. So just know that those, you know, a lot of businesses, a lot of networking opportunities are now virtual, and so we can't use that as an excuse to not get out there because we're still out there doing it. So also, question here, basically, who hires felons? That was a question that came in.
And that's another tough one. I'll be honest. I've worked with Mr. Tom Reardon over with the Reentry Coalition. We've talked a lot about they work hard to try to help reentry folks coming out of prison to find these jobs. In this area, you know, the biggest challenge is Fort Huachuca, or the fact that in Arizona you've got to have a fingerprint card. And a lot of people are open to hiring a felon, provided they can get those cards. Now, it's not easy. Even on post, they'll hire them if they can get a clearance. But once again, it's a challenge. The most important thing is you got to be open and honest when applying for these jobs. You've got to let them know what's going on. Because a lot of places that I've dealt with that will hire felons, they say it depends on what the felony was. They will actually sit down and try to find out what's going on. Unfortunately, there's a lot of businesses out there, they see that word felon and they shut down. They're afraid. Now, the good part is the state offers a grant for folks to hire folks coming out of prison. It's almost like an insurance. So you know, apply for this, you get it, you hire someone coming out of prison. If something happens, messes up, goes wrong, they got you covered.
Wonderful.
The only downside is there's not a lot of money in the pot right now.
There's not a lot of money in any pot right now, I don't think, unfortunately. But one of the other questions we have here is, what do businesses like to see in a resume or applicant to make them stand out among other applicants? Excellent, excellent question. I've got an answer for that, but I bet you do as well.
I've got a lot of answers. But, yeah, you know, and every job you apply for, every place you go to, it's all a little different, you know. However, with all the feedback I've gotten from businesses out there, one of the things they love to see is experience. And not just written, I am great. They want to see you quantify.
Right.
Why are you great? What have you done to set yourself apart? So you need to put down examples. You know, when I was working at Burger King, I was the top employee, made 500 Whoppers in 2 minutes. Something, you know, don't lie. Don't lie.
No.
But, you know, you've got to quantify the information you're putting on your resume. The other thing is, you've got to make your resume fit the description.
Thank you. That's my answer.
Too many people out there, because there's no real set way to write a resume. And too many people create one resume to fit every situation. Prime example, Arizona at Work was hiring an administrative assistant for our front desk about a year ago. And because I do the social media, I posted the job out, people were sending me resumes. And then I would send it to the hiring folks. Some of the resumes made no sense. Because I had people that would say, hey, I want to be an administrative assistant, but my experience is I can bathe and groom a dog like no tomorrow.
How is that relevant?
Exactly.
Yes. You
need to make sure your resume is relevant to the job description and the position you're applying for. And then you need to prove to the employer through this resume why they should hire you. Think like a hiring manager. When you're writing this resume, think about how do you sell yourself. One of the things I had written down in one of my classes, how to write a resume class, folks. There's on at work. So, you know, the resume is just a first impression that gets you your foot in the door. Okay? A resume, bottom line, is a sales document. A great resume does not, it basically tells all the good marketing tools and everything that you can bring to the table for that employer. And it tells the employer, hey, I'm the best thing since the other side of the pillow, and I'm going to make you look good. But a lot of people, like I said, they just want to write one resume that's supposed to fit every situation.
And it won't.
No.
And the fact is I understand, we all understand, when you're filling out applications online, which is what we're basically doing right now, you know, you don't necessarily have the time or want to take the time to tailor each application and tailor your resume to that particular job. And it might take extra time to do that, but if you have experience that relates to that job, yeah, your resume is your opportunity to showcase that. The resume is your opportunity to brag. You know, and a lot of people have trouble bragging about themselves. But if you don't do it on the resume, you're not going to get the interview. If you don't make that resume, that first impression, exactly what an employer wants to see, then they're not going to see you. So it's the time to brag.
And you know, and I'm one of those people. I don't like to brag. Just I do my job the best I can, and I'm good at it. But I'm not one to brag and put all the fluff in it. Somebody once told me, keep it down to 2 to 3 bullets, and it's not bragging. When you put 7 to 10 bullets on there, you may be going a little far. So just remember, 2 to 3 bullets, solid bullets of why you are the best pick.
Right. Absolutely. Let them know so that you can get your foot in the door. So this was an interesting question that was posed. What is the key to getting hired? So other than what we just talked about, is what you got? Golden key?
Okay. So as I talk to businesses, and this is going to sound so simple, one of the biggest keys to getting hired is answer your phones, answer your emails, and be available. Talking to some of the fast food restaurants, and they said their biggest pet peeve is they get all these applications, and then they try to call people in for an interview. Nobody answers the phone, nobody returns phone calls, people don't answer their emails, or else, oh, I'm not available. Oh, I'm not available. Worst thing you could ever do. Because the minute you say you're not available, they're no longer looking for you. Another thing is, for a lot of jobs in this area, and this is where you got to do your homework, access to the post, to Fort Huachuca. If you can get onto Fort Huachuca, there's a lot of opportunities out there. From moving companies to delivery drivers, you know, not to mention the jobs on post. And then show excitement. Show the employer or the hiring folks that you are excited, that you want this job. You know, unfortunately, I've got this mask on, so I can't make any faces. But a lot of times I get feedback is, oh, well, they came in, they act like they didn't care. They were just looking for whatever, a free handout or a job. But employers don't want to hire you if you're not motivated or excited about that position.
Agreed. And I think one of the other points that you made was access to the fort, which falls into the be prepared ahead of time category.
Yes.
And so making sure that if you're looking for a job on post, you already went and got access to the post. So you're not waiting until interview day to stop at the gate and get access, because that's not a good idea.
Yep.
But just being prepared, getting the certificates, getting the training, going through and getting the passes, and just making sure that you're ready to go when you get called for that interview.
Yes. Yeah, being prepared ahead of time. Unfortunately, in our society, we've become a reactionary society. We wait till something happens and then we react. If you want to be successful, if you want to find the jobs, if you want to get hired, be proactive. And like Melanie said, do all this stuff ahead of time, prepare it. And then even if you don't get the phone call, guess what? You've got to post, you got to pass the post, you've got a fingerprint card, you've got other things that for the next job opportunity you're prepared.
That's right. You're ready to go. Absolutely. So a question that we have here, and this kind of pertains to some of the other comments that we have, is how does one apply? Does anyone still do paper applications?
Yeah, that is a challenge. The sad truth is most everybody is online. Now, the good part about here in Sierra Vista is there are some that will still do paper applications. But then again, if people don't turn them in, which has been a problem. But being here in rural Arizona, and I was helping out with unemployment back when this whole pandemic stuff started and quarantine started. And I learned there's a lot of people here in southern Arizona without internet, without computers, without smartphones. And it's nothing against them, because I understand sometimes who needs it? It's a headache, especially for the older generation. However, what I would say is I would encourage you, there's several opportunities to take computer classes online, how to use a computer. Because whether we like it or not, that is the way of the future. Online applications. Now, even a lot of businesses do not like online applications. And the reason is they're so easy. They're so easy, therefore they flood the job market. So if you have a large corporation with a dedicated HR, it's not bad. I mean, Google was looking at over 150,000 applications a week. Imagine mom and pops that have no dedicated HR. When Mod's Pizza started, when they opened up here, I talked to one of the managers, and they had said they had still had over 100 applications they hadn't even looked at yet. So it is. It's so easy, but yet it's very overwhelming. But like I said, there are some out here that will work with you because they know we are in rural America. You got to go by and apply. Get a paper application and apply. But the key to all that, and you may be ready to ask another one of those questions, but the key to that and how to be successful with all this easy access, do your follow-ups. Call, email. Hey, my name's Eric. I applied the other day for your job. I was just wondering if you seen my application. Or would you mind if I sent you my resume? Move yourself to the top of the list by being proactive. Businesses love that. They love it. That shows that you are hungry, you are determined and motivated for that job.
You want it.
Yes,
Yeah,
you want it.
Absolutely.
And if you wait around for someone to call you, you may be waiting a long time.
Forever. Yep, unfortunately. So, another question here. Why aren't online jobs updated regularly? Many job postings out there are filled or expired, but they are still showing in job searches.
That is a good question. And it is frustrating. Even myself, I go in and I do job searches outside of when businesses contact me. And then I contact businesses and say, hey, I see you got job postings out there. Oh, no, we don't have any availabilities. It's like, well, why is it out there? Some businesses, their corporate headquarters post their jobs without feedback from the local folks. Makes no sense to me, but sometimes it happens. The real big thing is, on most of these job post sites, Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, they only give you 30-day increments. So if the job is posted for 15 days, it stays out there for 30 because that's all they can do it. And it's all based on the database and the software that they're using and how the platform's set up. But a lot of them, that is the biggest problem, is because they can't break it down into specific dates. So the job's out there and it stays. Sometimes it is because the HRs or the hiring managers never go in and update it. But for the most part, it's just because of the way the software is set up.
Which makes sense, absolutely. And, and just trying to, I know that's got to be very frustrating, especially if you come across something you're very interested in and you find out that it is not available anymore. But, I guess if you contact the company, they've heard your interest, ask them if you can submit a resume and an application anyway. And that way, if that person that they filled it with doesn't work out, they've got your information.
Yeah, and that's one of the challenges too, is that some businesses leave it out there because yes, they've got potential clients, they're doing the interviews, but sometimes they decide not to go with them, or the person never even shows up for the first day of work.
Right.
So it stays out there as well. So yeah, by all means, I agree with you. Contact them, submit your resume, and show your interest, because you never know. The other person may decide to slack one day, fall asleep, not show up. You may just step into a job.
So the next one is very interesting, related to that. Basically, is anyone interested in a community job interview day so people can come in and interview in person or virtually, but one location and set time and date? Now, I know you have job fairs, but in regards to interviews, I'm not sure if that's something that you do or
actually,
could do.
I've got a lot of feedback from a lot of the businesses around here. They would be very interested in this, having a set day to bring potential hires in, and maybe we set them up in different rooms right now because of the pandemic, or we do it virtually, and basically run through interviews and stuff right there on the spot. But there's also, the thing I like about that question is because through it, other ideas have popped up through, like maybe just a network day. So businesses and people can network together and meet. The other thing that has been discussed is a reverse hiring fair.
You want to elaborate on that?
I usually get that weird look every time. So a reverse hiring fair is where we bring in job seekers. So let's take a look at this outside of the pandemic right now. If there was no social distancing, just so we can lay down what it looks like. So basically we bring in job seekers. They dress for success, they bring their resume, maybe they want to do a display, like a science fair. Then the businesses go around to each one of them instead of them going around to the businesses. And then they have to sell themselves to that business and show them, hey, I've got this certification, I've got this experience. Give them the chance to do their little elevator pitch or whatever to sell themselves to that organization.
Oh, that's an interesting concept.
So it's been done in some of the bigger cities and stuff in the past. And as I've reached out with that one question about the interviews, that's come up too. The concern and the interest in something like that. And I love it, because now it takes and puts the ownership on the job seeker. Now they can't say, oh, well, they were crowded at that table, I didn't get a chance to talk to nobody, or I didn't feel like dealing with this, or I have trouble with crowds.
Right.
Now you're in charge. You set up and present yourself and let the businesses come around and meet you.
I like that. I think that's a good idea. We'll follow up with you and find out when you're going to do that.
And right now I'm looking at a couple of virtual platforms to hold stuff like this. And it's challenging because there's a lot of platforms out there nowadays.
There are.
And some of them cost a lot of money.
We'll talk about that after. Absolutely, because we are too. So best practices for working with the public during a pandemic.
The best practices is just follow the guidelines, the safety guidelines, and respect. Treat everybody with dignity and respect. If you have someone who doesn't want to wear a mask, as long as all the other safety requirements are met, don't beat them up.
Right.
Don't hound on them. The biggest challenge is, when you're out there in food service or you're dealing with the public, you're going to have all kinds of interesting people that you're going to come across. When I used to work fast food years ago as a young teenager, they used to always tell me the customer's always right. Now, deep down inside, I didn't want to accept that for some customers. But the bottom line is, if you're working, especially in a business, and you've got clients that are not doing what they are supposed to, kindly ask them to obey or ask them to leave. You don't have to be controversial. You don't have to be angry or mad. You don't have to be rude. Dignity and respect is the key.
I would agree. So one more thing I want to talk about real quick before we do some closing comments here is we have, with the pandemic, obviously, we have a lot of people that were thrust into a whole new world.
Yes.
A whole new virtual world. And so because of the pandemic and because it's not going away this week, we have a lot of people that don't have the skills and abilities or the equipment necessarily to do a virtual interview or to do applications online. So what is your suggestion in regards to that for them?
Okay, so with that, one, they can come see us at Arizona at Work. We're working right now to try to upgrade some of our systems to get some cameras and stuff so people can come in and do these virtual interviews, Snapchat, whatever you want to call it, however they choose to do it. The other is talk to family and friends, see if they have access. Now, I know right now in the community there's a lot of issues with internet connectivity and bandwidth and all that. So bear with it, keep working. Some things are way beyond our control.
Right.
But Arizona at Work, we're here to help. We do have a computer resource room. We have 6 to 7 computers set up, distanced. So we practice our social distance and everything. And we're working to provide or to get some cameras and stuff to help people with that. But also, if the libraries start opening up, most of the libraries throughout the county are part of what we call an access point, a partner with us to help folks in that local community access a computer for job searches and so forth. So that's my best advice right now, because one, we don't know when things will open up or not open up. It just seems to go back and forth every day.
Well, and when things do get to a point where they open back up, it doesn't mean that businesses are necessarily going to go back to a face-to-face interview either.
Yes.
And so I think what's most important is recognizing that and recognizing the need to learn the technology and have availability to the technology, because that is probably not going to change.
Yes.
You know, we might revert back a little bit, but we're not going to go back necessarily to the way things were in the past. So you're offering training, classes for that, location for that. So, you know, that's it. Arizona at Work, a great place to go and get what you need in order to be able to apply for those jobs and be ready for those jobs if you happen to get that interview and get placed in that job. So any additional comments you want to add before we head off into our updates?
I would also recommend check out some of the local schools. Cochise College is offering a couple of free classes online to help better yourself with some of this stuff. There's several other schools out there that are offering free classes as well. This is the time to do it when you're stuck at home and you got nothing else better to do than to, complain about mask or no mask.
Right.
Get online, learn something about this, because it's going to be the way of the future.
Absolutely. So, thank you, Eric Grisham, Arizona at Work. Please make sure that you are looking them up online. We will get the links out to you in just a little bit here. We're running a little bit behind on that today, my fault. So, but we will get all those links out to you as soon as we're done with the video here. But Arizona at Work, if you are looking for a job or you're a company who is in need of hiring right now, please make sure you're contacting them and taking part of some free resources here, some wonderful, wonderful free resources. So we're going to go into our updates. We have quite a few today. It was a busy weekend and a busy day yesterday. So, my glasses are going to fog up a little bit here. On AZDHS.gov, currently 79,214 cases in Arizona right now. Can't see, I'm fogging up. All right, so we have to do the grandma thing here. We're going to hold it way out here so I can see it. So in Cochise County, currently 645 cases. So we've had quite an increase lately. Number of tests in Cochise County, 10,536 tests so far. Currently 309 people are listed as active. 330 have been released from isolation. And currently, the number of people that have passed away from COVID-19 or related illnesses is still at 6. So we're happy that number has not gone up. Short update on the chamber. As you know, our office is still currently closed to walk-in traffic. Our office staff is available here for you Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. by calling 520-458-6940. Our regular Facebook Lives, obviously Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. But they are all on our Facebook page. So if you miss one, feel free to jump on there and go back and watch that. Thank you to our viewers. Again, we very strongly recommend and encourage you to direct your comments, questions, or concerns to the appropriate place so that you can get answers to those. We appreciate it. We don't have any say over who our public officials are or what comes down with the legislative information. So please make sure that if you have concerns or questions or comments that you are referring those to the correct people that can do something about that. Appreciate it, and we thank you in advance, of course, for continuing to be empathetic of your neighbors, your family, your friends, and your community, for being understanding and being kind to each other. So, on to our updates. Our events, we still have the Sponsor Business Program where we have members who are doing well right now, are helping to support our members that are struggling to renew their memberships with the Chamber. So thank you, Gloria Grab, Nova Home Loans, Brenda Pettit, Haymore Real Estate, Laura Wilson, Unicorn Kisses Custom Creations, Chris Russell, the Russell's Law Firm, Wallace and Diane Ricks, Butternut Street Custom Awards and Gifts, Carolyn Umphrey, Pups with Style, Paul Milo, Williams Milo, PLC Attorneys at Law, and Pam Anderson, Landmark Cafe. Also, we have our Facebook Live option available for our chamber members. We will come out and do a Facebook Live with you with our masks. Just give us a call and let us know. Our Facebook group, we have over 2,000 members in our Facebook group, and that is for business updates. So please make sure you're jumping on Sierra Vista Area Community Updates on Facebook to post information about your business or to learn information about businesses in our local community. Jobs, we created a job posting page as well, another resource. So on our website, SierraVistaAreaChamber.com, we have a job posting area. So if you are a business and you're looking for someone, feel free to jump on there and post that job. If you are looking for a job, please feel free to jump on there and check out the jobs that are available. Also, today is June 30th. So today is the last day. If you're going to nominate someone for the Herald Review 20 under 40, today is the last day to nominate. So we will get the links up for you on that. Also, for the Herald Review 2020 Citizen of the Year, today is the last day to nominate as well. So please make sure that you are jumping on these links that we're going to get to in just a minute here, or just go to the Herald Review site as well, and you can click on the links there too. But today is the last day to nominate. So I know we had some amazing 20 under 40s this year and Citizens of the Year. People out there doing incredible things this year. We had a pandemic thrown at us, and people have stepped up and done amazing things. So please make sure, if you have a few minutes, please jump on and nominate today. Also, we still have our Home and Business show scheduled for August 29th. It is Cochise County's largest trade show. Yes, I know that sounds scary right now, but it is scheduled for August 29th at the Mall of Sierra Vista. And we are going to be doing that in person and virtual at this point. And so we need to get the information out there from our local shops and businesses. And we need people to shop local and support those businesses. So we are still planning on doing that at this point. If anything changes, we will let you know. But we want to thank our diamond sponsor, SSVEC, our gold sponsor, Canyon Vista Medical Center, and our exclusive Shred-a-thon sponsor, Guild Mortgage. Want to let you know that if, in fact, we do carry forward with this, which is our plan, we are following all CDC guidelines for the malls and businesses. Hand sanitizer stations are located throughout the mall. The doors will be open, so there will be no contact there. The booths will be spaced apart. Social distancing, floor markings, face masks strongly recommended, and a virtual program for those who cannot or should not attend. So if you are interested in registering, please jump on SierraVistaAreaChamber.com or give us a call at 458-6940. Okay, on to the updates. On Friday, City Council held a special meeting on Friday, and that was in regards to what you see here, which is face masks and the requirement for face masks. So we did post information in regards to that. You can also find this on the city website as well. But it was due to an increase in COVID-19 cases. The number of available hospital rooms, including ICU rooms, and the number of ventilators available has decreased. In light of that, the City of Sierra Vista has instituted a policy mandating masks in public. This applies to all businesses and customers entering those businesses. It became effective as of midnight Friday night and until further notice. Additional supplies may be difficult for some businesses to obtain, so the mandate will become effective for businesses as of July 1st, that would be tomorrow, to allow them time to obtain the supplies needed. However, each business has the right to refuse entry to anyone who is not wearing a mask. They had this right prior to the mandate, and they still have it. It is still in effect. The mandate is already in effect in many other states, cities, and military posts nationwide, so this is not just a City of Sierra Vista thing. So please log on to the city's website at sierravistaaz.gov to see the actual order and the details of that. Obviously, I'm just giving you the Cliff Notes, as that's what I do here. But just to let you know, on a phone call with Governor Ducey's office on Friday, Dr. Kara Christ stated that a large portion of the individuals in the age group of 20 to 44 that tested positive for COVID-19 showed no signs or symptoms of it. And so that's kind of the thing with the mask, is you may be careful to help out your fellow neighbors, friends, and family by wearing your mask. So let's see. So please, help us get through this by following the mandate. It doesn't mean you can't go out. It doesn't mean you can't shop or go to a restaurant. It just requires you to wear a mask when you do. It's not a shelter-in-place order, so let's make sure it doesn't end up being that. So please wear your mask. Again, want to let you know, today is Tuesday. On Thursday, we will have the mayor with us here for a Facebook Live. I'm sure he'll have a lot of interesting information for us, so make sure you tune in then. Obviously, the three-phase approach, Opening Up America, is on whitehouse.gov. We'll post all these links for you. And now from the governor's office, the governor did a press conference yesterday, and he put out 2 new executive orders. So Executive Order 2020-43 is called Pausing of Arizona's Reopening, Slowing the Spread of COVID-19. I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes again here, but basically, one part of that is prohibiting mass gatherings statewide, effective yesterday, June 29th. Even if appropriate physical distancing is possible, organized events of more than 50 people are prohibited. The executive order enables local governing jurisdictions, such as the city, town, or county, to approve events on the condition of meeting certain safety precautions, such as physical distancing. So basically, you're going to want to make sure you get with your city or county officials if you're planning something with 50 or more people in one location, indoors or outdoors. Pausing certain business operations, effective at 8 p.m. yesterday. The following establishments shall pause operations until July 27th. Bars with a Series 6 or 7 liquor license from the Department of Liquor Licenses and Control. These entities may provide takeout and curbside service, though. Indoor gyms and fitness clubs or centers, indoor movie theaters, water parks, and tubing operators. Unless extended, the pause remains in effect until July 27th, after which businesses seeking to resume operations must demonstrate compliance with public health guidance as determined by the Arizona Department of Health Services. Also, suspending special event licenses. Under the executive order, the Arizona Department of Liquor Licenses and Control shall cease issuing special event licenses for the period between June 29th and July 27th. The additional executive order 2020-44 came out yesterday, and it is delaying the first day of school. So Governor Ducey yesterday signed an executive order delaying the first day of school for in-person learning until August 17th, 2020. Schools will be able to conduct distance learning should they choose to before then. Yesterday's announcement follows an announcement last week of a $270 million plan to help Arizona public schools safely restart while allowing for remote learning, addressing the achievement gap, and bridging the digital divide. So those are the major updates. Please make sure that you are going to azgovernor.gov to get the details of those executive orders, and also to sierravistaaz.gov in order to get the City of Sierra Vista information as well. Fort Huachuca updates. So Fort Huachuca, as of last week, is still in phase 1. They have a live town hall every Tuesday night, so that will be tonight at 6 o'clock. Go to their Facebook page and watch the town hall, and you will be able to see what their updates are on Fort Huachuca and where they're at as far as reopening or not. So jump on that tonight at 6. Additional resources, as you were saying, Eric, Cochise College is offering scholarships as well as some free classes to graduating seniors and non-traditional students. So jump on cochise.edu and get the information on that. Again, Cochise County Sheriff's Office if you are the victim of a scam. U.S. Census is still going on, so jump on my2020census.gov in order to complete your census if you haven't. Voting, www.servicearizona.com to get registered to vote, and we've got voting coming up in the next couple of months, so please make sure you're jumping on for that. Again, don't forget, folks, let's see if we can get through this as quickly as possible. So stay home when you're sick, wear a mask when you're in public, physically distance by staying at least 6 feet away from others when you can't wear a mask, avoid gatherings of 10 or more people. Arizonans at higher risk for severe illness should continue to stay at home and avoid crowded public spaces. People at a higher risk for severe illness include adults 65 or older or people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions. Wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If you don't have soap and water, use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Cover your cough or sneeze, and clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. So thank you again, everyone, for showing kindness to each other. Attitude is everything right now, so choose yours wisely. Brought to you by the Sierra Vista Area Chamber of Commerce, and don't forget to tune in on Thursday at noon when we will have the City of Sierra Vista Mayor Rick Mueller with us as our special guest. Thank you again, Eric from Arizona at Work.
Thank